Hey YouTube, Matt M. Roy back again. Well, I have this Emachines that I picked up at the garage sales yesterday apart, and I wasn't very happy with the fact that this only has an Intel Celeron processor. So I did a little digging online and found out that the CPU that was in it is a LGA 775. Well, in my collection I have this is all my extra processors, and they all happen to be the LGA 775 CPUs. Some of them are Pentium Ds, one or two were Pentium 4s. I actually wound up getting rid of those. And then I found this one here. This is a Core 2 Duo. I shouldn't have put the compound on yet. It's a 1.86 gigahertz Core 2 Duo. I don't remember the exact number. I think it's the E4300 series. It came out of the gateway that I have in the other room. Well, what I've decided to do is go ahead and give it a try in this computer. There shouldn't be any reason why it wouldn't work. This computer is much newer than the one that this came out of, so I think we're going to be just fine. So remember, when you're putting heatsink compound on, you just need a good sized dab in the middle. And I've already cleaned the rest of the compound off of this heatsink. So what I did is I'm going to match it up to the CPU that was in it. This back one is the one that was already in there, and you can see that this is the same way. So these are 0 and 4 so all I should have to do is drop it right in here. I didn't get it right the first time. There we go. Literally, you just drop it in place. Then you close the door here, and then this goes underneath. It's a little tight, you gotta use some force, but that keeps everything in place and it keeps the door totally shut. Now, when putting this back in, you have to line up these screws here with the screw holes right here. There's 4 of them. 1, 2, 3. I don't think you can see the other one. There you go. 3 and then 4. One quick note, when putting one of these types of heat sinks back in where there's 4 screws, when screwing it on, you want to crisscross. In other words, do this one and this one first, or this one and this one. Because if you don't do that, it's very hard to line up these screw holes. And if you screw one in, if you go one at a time, you're going to wind up messing up, because if they're not exactly lined up properly, it's going to be a bear trying to get them all in, because once you screw one of them in, you can hardly move this. It becomes very tight. So again, just a quick note, when you're doing this, remember, crisscross. Alright, now that I have the new CPU in, and yesterday I put in a 160 gigabyte hard drive, because when they gave this to me, they took the hard drive out for security purposes. So this is going to be the first test with the new CPU. So, smoke test. That's a good sound. Well, let's go in, hit F12, go into the BIOS. Yep. I was a little too slow. This thing really posts very quickly. Oh, must not be F12. Goes so quick you can't even read the screen. Okay, it's delete. One more time. There we go. Alright, so let's see what we have here. Oh, there we go. The new CPU is an Intel Core 2 Duo, 1.8 gigahertz, and the system memory is still 2 gigabytes. This is DDR3. So yeah, I would call that a successful upgrade. I'm not really surprised, but I wasn't 100% sure that this would work, because with these really inexpensive basically I call them discount budget machines, sometimes they'll actually put in motherboards that are incompatible with higher end CPUs. I've actually come across that a couple times with the what I used to call Black Friday specials at Best Buy. They were the AMD Athlon 64s. I tried upgrading one of those to the dual core one time, and the motherboard just wouldn't take it. And unfortunately, Emachines did not have a BIOS update, and they were so cheap that the motherboards didn't even have a name on them. So I wouldn't have even known where to begin to look for to find a BIOS update for them. But it looks like we got lucky on this one. Let's see what else we got here. Look at the health status real quick while we're in here. CPU temperature looks like it's at let's see. So we're running about 28 degrees, so 82 Fahrenheit. It's about normal for this. Got to watch it with these slimline systems because they really tend to run hot. That's why I put just a little bit extra thermal compound on there. And I'm going to keep an eye on it while I'm working on this system. And that's about it. Everything else is fairly standard in here. So what am I going to do with this system? Well, the very first thing I'm going to do is install Windows 7 because that's the COA that's on there, and this system would be ideal for Windows 7. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Again, I'm not going to film the Windows 7 installation because I've done that before and you could see them all over the internet. But I will show you guys what the finished product is. Alright, so we're back with this Emachines tower. And I have Windows 7 installed now. I'm just doing some last minute updates. I'll show you guys that everything did take, and I used the product key on the side of the computer to activate it because it was Windows 7 Home Premium. Now one thing I did look up on this, and I don't know why they did it, is the key that was on here is for 64-bit. So unfortunately that's why I had to install on here, but it seems to run okay. It's a little slow when you're doing multiple tasks, but you know, it's tolerable. I'll show you guys here. There you go. Windows 7 Home Premium with Service Pack 1 installed. And there you go, we got the 64-bit operating system. And it is the Intel Core 2. It's the 4300 series at 1.8 gigahertz. So far better than the Intel Celeron CPU that came with this originally. There we go. Oh, it did the rating. I didn't even look at that yet. Let's see, it's rated at 3.5 overall. Let's see, the CPU gets a 4.8, which is pretty good. Memory, 4.8 as well. Graphics for desktop Aero is 4.3, and gaming is 3.5, and that's just because this is just an Intel Extreme Graphics. I think it's like the G31. I'll take a look at that in a minute. And the hard drive gets a 5.3. So overall, not too bad. Go ahead and look at the graphics card real quick. Yeah, it's a little slow right now because I'm doing multiple updates. Unfortunately, this only has 2 gigabytes of RAM, and I believe that is the max you can put in this. I looked that up, and that's pretty much the consensus for this computer. It's the Intel G41 Express graphics chipset, 4 series. 64 megabytes dedicated, and then 750 megabytes shared, and that gives you a total of 814 megabytes. And let's see, that's the GMA 4500 string. I actually had a Micro Tower HP that used this same graphics chipset. Not actually that bad, unless of course you're going to be gaming with it. And then of course, like I said, I put a 160 gigabyte hard drive in there, and we still got about 117 gigabytes free. So what am I going to do with this? I think I'm going to probably just list this one on Craigslist because I don't really have a need for a micro tower. This would be great for somebody who's going to do maybe a lot of pictures, internet surfing, then of course maybe some YouTube videos. And of course it will be secure because it is running Windows 7. Unfortunately, I'm pretty much done with Windows XP computers because of the because they're not doing any more security updates and not supporting it anymore. And the very last thing I'm going to do with this computer is remove this awful Celeron sticker. which we'll see if I can do this on camera here. There we go. Here it goes. And that's it. I'll clean the rest of the residue up later. But you can see, there you go, Intel Celeron inside. We never want that inside on one of our computers. As for the cooling, it seems to be doing pretty well. I went back into the BIOS, and the hottest I saw it get was about 38 degrees Celsius, so I'd say that's pretty good. I'm putting my hand here, and it's not even hot it's coming out here, it's just warm, because the fan is actually here, and it pushes the air out the top. Not my favorite design, but, you know, it definitely does better than the HP Slimlines, which I've literally seen cook themselves. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Look for some more computer videos to come really soon. And until next time, remember, have a blessed day, everybody.